put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back this morning to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. We are chatting at this time with Ronaldo Belfon, who is the director of Zero Business Group. We got that right. And our focus this morning is on how to make a will. Ronaldo, good morning and welcome to the program.
Morning, thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about the Zero Business Group and what it entails.
All right, so Zero Business Group is really unlike any other real estate company in Trinidad and Tobago in that we're very multifaceted, in that a core part of our mission is education, which is why we're having this event here today. And apart from education, there's of course the real estate brokerage side. We also have partnerships with construction firms, insurance firms, and financial institutions. So we're really a one-stop shop for everything real estate.
All right. And how does this real estate company partner or offer services of making a will?
All right. Okay. So a big part of our education drive was born out of the need that some of our clients are at that age now where they need to pass on their real estate and other assets. And a lot of people in Tobago are not very familiar with that process. In fact, a lot of people are afraid of even discussing having a will. And so just
almost as though if you talk about it today, you'll die tomorrow, so you don't talk about it.
So you don't talk about it. But the end result of that can be a lot of conflict. And we see that all across Tobago. A lot of families have found themselves in conflict over property that was not properly divested. And we're trying to change that narrative in Tobago and across Trinidad and Tobago.
All right. Let's talk about the importance of it, the importance of that will. Stepping aside from not talking about it, because it seems to be taboo really over the years, but the importance of parents, grandparents making that will. We've seen in the past, and I'm sure even in your career, you would have seen persons passing away, and then the children are left to wonder, well, what are we dealing with? Because, you know, the older folks would have hidden things away and put it under the mattress and in a drawer, and you never know where anything is. But the importance of having that document.
All right. So I guess the first question it asks is the reason why, and I think that the fundamental reason why is scriptural, because Scripture teaches us that a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. Right. And
that's the word. Don't play with it.
Right. So we have to execute on it no matter how difficult it is. And regarding the how, it's actually quite a simple process. In fact, you can get your will prepared in a matter of half an hour, the document side of it. But the real critical aspect is navigating the complex issues. And that is where the counseling comes in terms of how to divvy up your assets between your spouse and your children, that sort of thing. And interestingly, for a lot of our clients, when you get married later on in life, let's say you have a second wife, your first wife passed away, what happens? How do you navigate that potential, let's say, friction between the children in your first marriage and your new spouse? So you're opening your eyes big, but these are the challenges that we're dealing with.
You said it, and I'm thinking, we don't think about these things.
Exactly.
You know, when the first will may have been done, or you're married, you have children, a spouse passes, or either spouse passes away, then you have to now cater to, you've got to cater.
Exactly.
But we don't think about these things. We live life thinking, they'll sort it out.
Yeah, and hardly ever they sort it out. Usually a lot of broken relationships, a lot of broken families, for something that could be avoided by having what can be a hard discussion, but a necessary one early on.
Now, you indicated earlier that a will can be prepared within a matter of half an hour.
Yes.
But what should persons be mindful of when you're making a will? How valid? What constitutes a valid will document?
Right. So I'm not a lawyer, at least not yet. And so the
Feel you're on your way. You're on your way.
I'm not. All right. So the attorney who will be speaking on it, Shaniel Gregg, unfortunately she couldn't make it here today. She's a lot more knowledgeable about the ins and outs of creating the will, and so I guess you have to come to the session tomorrow to get the ins and outs. But a critical aspect that people need to keep in mind is that writing down a set of instructions is not the only aspect. It has to be, you have to swear before a commissioner of affidavits in order for it to hold any validity. And there are some other aspects that must be included. For example, you must have at least one, preferably two executors. So a main one and a backup just in case something happens to the first one in order for it to be valid. So there's some little nuances that need to be considered, and I think Ms. Gregg will be in a much better position to navigate that than I am.
So Granny sitting on her bed, 9 o'clock at night,
Right.
unable to fall asleep,
Right.
taking to pen and paper to document that she's leaving her favorite quilt to her granddaughter,
Yeah.
her favorite shoes that she's worn over the last 56 years to her great-granddaughter, the treasured chest to her grandson, documenting that, it would not be valid.
That could be the start of it, but on its own, no. So I guess that same document could be typed up and then just, like I said, mention an executor and make sure that there's no contradictions in different aspects of the will, and then have it sworn to. But I think that might be actually a great start for some people, and then speak to a legal professional in order to firm it up from there.
All right. Now, this is a forum that's happening. Tell us when and where.
Right. So this session is at 7 p.m. tomorrow at Apex Bar and Grill, which, as you know, is down at Crown Point.
That's at Storby
Local
Road, right?
As you swing off Stumpy Bypass there, right? And so it's actually our first ever live event. Previously, all of the events have been virtual. So we encouraging people now to come back and see each other face to face, interact live. And of course, I want to give thanks to the sponsors. Apex is one of our sponsors who are making this event possible. And of course, our patrons, which are persons who make a monthly contribution towards our educational effort. Quite a few of them are non-nationals. So we have people who are interested in Tobago business who are not necessarily living here. And I really want to thank all our sponsors for making this
But they
possible.
believe in educating Tobago's people on Tobago's business.
Correct.
All right. Whoever you are, we say thank you to you this morning. All right. So it's happening tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Apex Bar and Grill.
Correct.
All right. Thank you very much. Is there a cost attached?
Right. So there is, but we still have some free tickets. So we had, because it's not a profit-making venture, at least this aspect of the company, we have a few free tickets still to allocate. So in order to get one of these free tickets, just hop on over to our social media page and register for the event. And we register through Eventbrite. And I think we have about 5 or 6 more. So if you're interested in attending for free, head there very, very quickly.
And I just want to highlight here that Ciro Business Group is on our live, and they're saying here, ensure your property and assets are passed on according to your wishes by attending our workshop on creating a will. The interactive talk will cover topics such as the importance of creating a will, how to determine and prioritize beneficiaries, how to name executors, how to update and revise your will, how marriage affects the execution of your will. Register now. And I think this covers so many areas for so many of us here in Tobago. How marriage affects it. I'm telling you. All right, so you were divorced, now you're remarried. Does first husband, is first husband entitled, or first spouse entitled to anything, or is it just second spouse? The first children qualify, only second children, never know. All right, but certainly you can check them out on social media. All right, so thank you again for being on the program with us this morning, Ricardo Belfon.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right, so viewers, we're going to leave it there for today. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been quite an interesting morning, and we want to say thank you to all of you who were logged on with us via social media or YouTube and Facebook, Gael and M&E TV. We say to you, have a great day. We've got GMT coming up with Candace in just a little bit. So we say have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow, viewers. Be blessed. Bye-bye.